I've been helping law firms get more clients for the last 10 years. And over that time, I've noticed a lot of trends between marketing and advertising. And there's an old way of doing things and a new way of doing things. And in this video, I'm going to talk about those trends. And I'm going to talk about how you can get ahead of them to make sure that your law firm is always in the best position to succeed, to get more clients. So let's start here. I got old way, new way. I'm just going to go through one by one, and I'm going to talk about some of the old way of doing things and now some of the new way that you should be doing things when it comes to law firm marketing and advertising. So let's start with the old way. The old way, dumping money and praying. So this refers to a whole number of tactics. This could be billboards, this could be radio, this could be TV, but it's also search marketing. When we talk about SEO and Google Ads right now, but especially SEO, we're talking about dumping money into something and basically just praying that it's going to return. SEO, there's no guarantee. I mean, my agency does SEO for over 50 law firm clients right now, but we're very, very particular about who we take on as an SEO client, because the truth is, a lot of you are just never going to get results. You're too far behind, there's too much competition, so you're basically just putting all that money into an agency and praying. It's the same thing with something like a billboard, right? You just put up 10 billboards and you're just hoping that it's going to build top of mind awareness, it's going to generate phone calls. It doesn't always work like that. So what's the new way of doing things? The new way of doing things, testing, tracking, and agility. So one of the gifts and actually one of the curses of the internet is the fact that we can test and we can track everything. So we've shifted a lot much more into paid performance marketing for our clients, as opposed to some of these spray and pray tactics like SEO and like Google Ads and like LSAs, because quite frankly, like I said, there's just no guarantee of a return. But when it comes to Facebook advertising in particular, we're talking about being able to get on top of feeds, Facebook, Instagram, and with all the placements within those as well. And the ability to track and test everything that happens there, we're able to be extremely agile in how we're doing things in terms of being able to make decisions within a day or two, as opposed to something like SEO or billboards and saying, hey, we put them up last quarter, did a rising tide raise all ships? Did revenue go up? There's really not a lot of way to track from those sources. But when it comes to doing things like Facebook advertising, we can track clicks, we can track time on site, we can track leads, we can track how it's pathing all the way through. And that's happening very, very quickly. And we're able to make decisions about what to do in terms of improving spend and improving the performance of that spend as well. It's definitely the new way to do things. And if you're working with an agency and you feel like you're not getting, you need to be asking them questions about this stuff. You need to be asking them questions about tracking. Like, what are we tracking? What are our KPIs? What are our goals? What are our metrics? What are we looking at on a monthly, quarterly, annual basis? How are we measuring them? And if it's not working, how are we making changes versus, again, just dumping money and praying and hoping that your money returns. So another old way of doing things is buying leads. Now, if you're in the personal injury space, this is probably going to apply mostly to you. And of course, you can get like workers' comp, you can get other types of leads, you can get bankruptcy leads, you can buy leads from pretty much anywhere. But buying leads, I have to be honest with you, you're not going to like this when I tell you this, but when you buy leads, you're killing your own industry. Because when you're buying leads, what you're doing is you're going to a marketer, an advertiser like myself, and you're saying, I'm going to give you my money to go out and advertise on behalf of law firms, and not one for one, right? There's a gray area in terms of how they can do that, but they're basically just going out, they're taking your money and they're spending that on advertising to generate leads to then resell to you at a premium. You're literally paying them, you're paying for a premium on those leads, number one, but number two, what they're doing is they are eroding the legal industry, because the ads that they're running are awful. They're not from real law firms. They are not from real client stories. When you think about like the car accident space, for example, this is probably the most notorious lead buying industry that there is that they're running ads that are misleading, they're misguiding, and they don't paint you in the best picture. Before I really started working in the legal industry, I didn't really know too much about what a car accident lawyer did, and there's kind of a negative connotation in a lot of ways, and it comes from the overt and over-the-top advertising that a lot of lawyers do. But at the end of the day, you are helping people. You know, I know this because my mother-in-law got in a car accident and her insurance company screwed her like really, really bad. And if it weren't for the help of an attorney, it's not even about her making money. It's about really just her getting fair compensation for the damage and also for the back injury that she sustained over a long period of time. She couldn't work. So, you know, when you buy leads, you're giving up the ability for you to go out and run the right messaging to build a brand. And you're basically just putting money into marketers' pockets. And these companies are cleaning up, and all they're doing is they're running more and more and more and more ads. They're making it more and more and more competitive, and you're funding them to do that. You got to stop doing it. So what should you be doing? You should be generating leads. And I know that sounds like a lot of work. And it is. Marketing is a lot of work, but you can do it because especially when it comes to the lead buying space, all they're doing is running Facebook ads. They're not even doing any other, there's no sophisticated schemes that they're running anymore. They're literally just going onto Facebook and running image ads saying, if you've been injured, you might be entitled to compensation. You can do the same thing. We do it for our clients all the time. We literally cut their lead costs in half overnight. And we're building equity into their business, into their law firm, because we're getting their name, their face, their brand out there in front of people, as opposed to just running all these like caraccidentvictim.com ads. It's garbage. It's garbage, and you have to stop. Please, I'm begging you, you have to stop. I know that it works, but stop being lazy, guys. Running a business is hard. I don't want to hear about it. Sorry that I'm being aggressive today. It's just one of those days. Next one up here, hands-free tactics. So hands-free tactics are going to tie into things like search marketing, right? So when we look at the popularity of Google, SEO, PPC, LSAs, the main reason why it's so popular is, yeah, it's high intent traffic. People are going to Google and searching for, I need a divorce attorney, but you don't have to do anything, right? Like you can really just pay an agency to do everything for you. They do all the work for you and it just works. But what's ended up happening, right? I've been doing this for a long time. Like I said, I used to have to beg my attorney clients to put their money into Google marketing. I'd be like, hey guys, you know, there's this search engine, and that's when people go to the internet and they search for, I used to have to like break it down like that. Now, every law firm in the country knows about SEO and Google ads, and they've either are doing it or they have done it or they're trying to do it, right? The market awareness is extremely high, and that's because I know how you work. I know how you think. Like you don't want to have to do the quote unquote work to get the marketing and the advertising done, but you have to, because now Google's just a real estate game and there's very limited real estate. Like I said, we still do SEO and Google ads for some of our clients, but you have to meet the right criteria in order to do that, because if you're starting from the ground level, I don't care what that agency is telling you at that conference. I don't care how good of a salesperson they are and how much of your friend they think you are. They're lying to your face if they're telling you that you're going to get results from doing SEO in today's market if you don't have a certain standing point, right? So give up on these hands-free tactics. Like I'm so tired. Maybe you can feel my energy on these videos. I've been doing these videos for years now, and I have conversations with lawyers all the time, and like you guys just don't want to do the work. But like running a business takes work. Like it just is what it is. It's competitive. You want to make money, you got to put in the work. So instead we have to move to more of active tactics. So what are active tactics? Active tactics are going to be social media. That means you're going to have to do some sort of content creation, and it's not just paying an agency to write blog content, y'all. I'm sorry, like those days are gone. You're watching this video now and you're looking for new tactics. I'm telling you right now, it's all about social media. Google's still a great platform, but like if you don't have the right standing, you're never going to get results there. And if you want to pay for Google ads, we can do those for you too, and they crush it, but you have to spend a certain amount to get there, because the cost per click in Google is so high, because it's a real estate game. The more advertisers, the higher the cost per click goes. And when you have very big players in your market that are willing to outspend you, that cost per click is going to keep going up, right? So how do you beat that back? Well, in business, there's an old saying, there's really two ways to make money. You either put in time and effort, or you put in capital. If you don't have the capital, you got to put in the time and effort. And even if you do have the capital, you should still be putting in the time and effort to be making content, right? Making videos, because once you have these videos, then you put them on Facebook advertising. Facebook ads right now are by far and away the best way to get leads and clients for your law firm. I don't care if you're an injury firm, divorce firm, business firm, criminal defense firm, you should be running Facebook ads. It should be your primary focus for your marketing strategy, but you need creative assets to do that. And then you're also killing two birds with one stone, because those videos, those creative assets can then be used organically and be put onto social media, which is where brands are built nowadays, y'all. Like, you can try and berate me in the comments all you want about how billboards and radio and all this stuff, like, it's not the case. If you were to sit down right now and think about 3 lawyers in your head that are crushing it, I guarantee it's because they're crushing it on Instagram. And whether you want to keep lying to yourself about it, it's not. You didn't see their billboards, trust me. You've been seeing them all over Instagram, TikTok, social media, and that's how you know about them. And that's why they're crushing it, trust me. So active tactics are definitely the way to go here. Last one here from an old way point of view, relying 100% on an agency. You know, again, I see this all the time and I get it. You know, you might be saying, well, I don't have the resources to hire internally. I don't have a blah, 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 to this. Like, most solid agencies are going to charge you 5, 6, 8, 10, 20 grand a month. Right? And what we want to do is we want to start pulling some weight in house. And this kind of just ties everything together, like I was saying here, that, look, I own an agency. We only work with law firms, so I'm trying to be as open and honest here as possible. But like, if you don't have some of this in-house, if you don't have some semblance of control, if you're just taking everything and put it on the shoulders of an agency, one, most agencies don't know what they're doing, even those very expensive ones. You know what I'm talking about, those ones that are gonna charge you 20, 25 grand a month for SEO. They're only selling you SEO. Why are they only selling you SEO? Why are they not talking to you about Facebook ads? Why are they not having this honest conversation with you? Because they're not gonna change their business process just to meet you where you need to be. They're just trying to make money just like you are, right? And they're selling you things that don't work anymore. They're not being honest with you about it. So if you don't have somebody internally who understands this stuff, I apologize for my frustration in this video. It's just the amount of conversations that I have with lawyers a week. You guys like go to a conference and you like meet somebody and you think they're your buddy, and then all of a sudden they're pitching you a $15,000 a month contract for 12 months and you get nothing from it. It's because they're lying to your face. They're lying to your face about what works, and it's not trying to push something that is just it's a square peg in a round hole for a lot of you out there, right? I'm trying to be honest with you. I'm trying to tell you based on experience about what's working. And like, you've got to have somebody internally inside of your business that understands this stuff, because whether you want to admit it or not, like, just being a good lawyer doesn't cut it anymore. It just doesn't. Like, you can't just be a good lawyer and expect to get clients. Like, you have to have marketing built into the DNA of your law firm. You just do. And that's widely supported by any of the top law firms in your industry. I guarantee you, they're great at marketing. I guarantee it. They're great at client acquisition. And a lot of that is everything that I just told here, right? You have to have some semblance of that inside of your DNA. So does that mean that you need an internal CMO? No. But like, you should have something, whether it's you educating and watching my videos that are all free, that are going to teach you this stuff for free, or having somebody internally that understands marketing that can at least help you guide and make decisions about where you should be putting your money, because it's just too competitive out there, y'all. It's too competitive out there. It's too expensive to just be blowing money and putting all of your money into an agency that frankly has 100 other clients, right, that are actually you're competing with, right? So I'm just letting you know that you should be working to bring a lot of this stuff in-house, and that's coming from an agency, right? That's coming from somebody who wants to sell you agency services. I'm just trying to be honest with you. So if you guys need help with any of this stuff, there's a link below. It'll take you directly to my calendar. Not a sales call. You can talk to me directly. I've got 10 plus years of experience doing legal marketing. I will have an open, honest discussion about you, your law firm, where you're at, and what you need to do to get more clients. And whether we're a good fit to help you do that or not is not really my concern. I'm just trying to build a reputation in this space as being open, honest, and helpful. So if you want to talk, if you need help with your marketing, hit the link below, and I'll see you out there.